So, as a full-time programmer, an athlete, and a small YouTuber, there are certain things I do differently compared to most people, which saves a lot of my time. In this video, I will take you through all the conventional and non-conventional weird techniques that I use, which you can use, which can change your life. The first one is using ad blockers and sponsor blockers. So YouTube these days has a lot of ads. You skip the ad and there is a sponsored section. Then there are YouTubers begging for likes, for subscribers, all these weird things that YouTubers do. This is a huge waste of your time. Just changing this one thing alone can save hours of your time every single month. There are browser extensions like uBlock Origin and SponsorBlock that I use, which automatically skips all the sponsors, all the intros, all the outros, all the promotion, like my channel, subscribe to my channel, all this weird stuff, along with all the ads. For the YouTube app on phone, you can use YouTube Revanced. It is basically a modded version of YouTube where there are no ads, no sponsors, no intros, outros, all this stuff that I mentioned, plus a lot of other features like blocking YouTube shorts. This again can save hours of your time, just this one thing alone. In the last 3 years, I have not watched a single short form video. Not on YouTube, not on Instagram. I don't have an Instagram account, so no Instagram at all. No wasting time on YouTube shorts, and life is pretty good. Now, installing YouTube Revanced is not very easy, but you can find some Reddit posts which helps you to do that. Keeping these two things aside, your browser extensions and YouTube Revanced, you can also change your Wi-Fi router DNS settings. Go to the router setup page, change your DNS to what you see on the screen right now, save the changes and restart your router. Now, if you don't know where to find your router setup page or where to change your DNS settings, go to ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT that I have this company router and where can I change the DNS settings. It is a one-time setup and all the devices connected to your Wi-Fi are going to have less ads. It is not very robust, it is not going to block all the ads, but a lot of ads for a lot of websites are going to be automatically blocked. Your smart TV, your phone, your parents' phone, your laptop, your PC, your tablet, everything is going to have less ads. The next thing is using the correct tools. There is data suggesting that people who use double displays have 9% to 50% more productivity. Just for reference, 50% more productivity is the same as doing 3 days worth of work in 2 days, or doing 30 days of work in 20 days, which means that there are some people who get 10 more days every single month. Think about how crazy that is. And that was only by using double displays. I also use this gaming mouse which has a lot of keys. Every single key has a macro. Macros are basically a sequence of shortcuts. So for example, when editing my YouTube videos, I can press this button and the playback speed of the video is going to be increased by 60%. I can watch a 1 hour video in like 45 minutes just by using this one button. All the other buttons have other shortcuts for coding and video editing, which saves a lot of my time. The third thing, which is an extension of the second thing, is using automation scripts. A lot of people who watch my videos are students. Let's say for studying, you're supposed to open Notion for taking notes, you're supposed to open Google Classroom, you're supposed to open YouTube, you're supposed to open some PDFs, you're supposed to use a DND mode, the do not disturb mode. This whole process can take a lot of time. You can automate this thing by using a piece of code. And this sounds complicated because you're supposed to write code, it is supposed to be a difficult thing, but YouTube can teach everything. I recently shifted from Windows to Mac and there is an option to automate these things without coding. You basically start recording a macro, you do all the things you want to do, this app records all your actions and it creates a shortcut. You can then use this shortcut to repeat all the actions much faster. Using technology, almost every single repetitive thing can be automated, so keep that in mind. The next 3 things, I will cover them together: outsourcing, bashing, and eliminating. If there is something that is not important, it is not urgent, it is not improving your life, eliminate that thing. Elimination is basically not doing that thing at all. It includes things like playing some stupid games, using Instagram, scrolling on YouTube on some random videos. Stop doing those things. A lot of you might think that I will not stop doing these things completely because these things are important. I will just do these things less, which never works. Not doing something at all is more easier compared to doing that thing and trying to control that thing. Just think about it. If you stop doing something completely, after a certain point you forget about that thing. It is not a habit anymore. But if you try to control that thing, every single time you do that thing, you remind yourself again and again of doing that thing. The habit never goes away. At some point you slip up and you go back to your original schedule. You don't control that thing starts controlling you. So start eliminating all the bad habits that you know are bad for you. Then there are some things which are quite boring, but you don't have to do them. You can outsource them. Outsourcing is basically making someone else do that thing for you. You give them money, they do the work for you. And this sounds scary, but people do this all the time. Booking a cab or a rickshaw, that is a form of outsourcing. Hiring a maid who does the cooking, the cleaning, all this stuff, that is also a form of outsourcing. A lot of people have this limiting belief that outsourcing is going to waste a lot of my money, but that depends on your value of time. The amount of time you can save by outsourcing, you can use that time to make more money. In the end, you have more time, more money, and less boring jobs. And finally, there is batching. Batching is basically doing all these small tasks together. In my case, for example, it is creating thumbnails for YouTube. For creating thumbnails, I'm supposed to take some photos, I'm supposed to go through a lot of photos, I'm supposed to think of the ideas, I'm supposed to do the editing and stuff. And I can create multiple thumbnails for multiple YouTube videos together, which saves a lot of my time. You don't even have to batch the same kind of tasks together. You can take multiple small tasks which are very boring and do all those small tasks together. This not only saves a lot of time, it also saves a lot of motivation that you are supposed to have for doing boring things. Creating thumbnails for YouTube videos, it is not very fun, it is quite boring. It is like the most boring part of creating YouTube videos. Just to start creating thumbnails, I'm supposed to mentally prepare myself. And this mental preparation time, this laziness, I'm only supposed to face this thing once if I create 3 or 4 thumbnails simultaneously. Now, if you want to know how to enjoy doing boring things, check out this video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.